Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam and in humanity, I'm making this video for educational purposes because I'm sick and tired of hearing propaganda that is just not true. Now, what happened on October the 7th was terrible. Uh, of course, nobody likes to hear about civilians getting killed in a military conflict. However, that does not mean the victims get to make up stuff. And we are getting to the stage that heads of states are lying to their people. So I'd like to clear up a couple of facts. Fact number one, out of the 193 states in the world, 143 recognize Palestine as a state. Out of the 193 states in the world, 153 do not consider Hamas to be a terrorist organization. In fact, the UN itself, so that makes it 154, do not consider Hamas to be a terrorist organization. So yes, they are prescribed terrorists under British law. Therefore, we are legally obliged to not support them materially or in any other way. But that does not mean we have to believe lies. Another lie they say is about Hamas wanting to wipe out Israel. In fact, they don't even say wipe out Israel. They make it even more dramatic. And they say they want to wipe out all Jews. Now, Hamas has had two charters. One when they were first founded in 1988, and the second one was in 2017. So in their charter of 1988, the mention of Jews goes like this. Characteristics and Independence, Article 6. The Islamic Resistance Movement is a distinguished Palestinian movement whose allegiance is to Allah and whose way of life is Islam. It strives to raise the banner of Allah over every inch of Palestine, for under the wing of Islam, followers of all religions can coexist in security and safety where their lives, possessions, and rights are concerned. In the absence of Islam, strife will be rife, oppression spreads, evil prevails, and schisms and wars will break out. That was what Hamas said about coexistence of other religions in their charter. Now, then they revised their charter in 2017, where they said, Article 16, Hamas affirms that its conflict is with the Zionist project, not with Jews because of their religion. Hamas does not wage a struggle against the Jews because they are Jewish, but wages a struggle against the Zionists who occupy Palestine. Yet it is the Zionists who constantly identify Judaism and the Jews with their own colonial project and illegal entity. Number 17, Hamas rejects the persecution of any human being or the undermining of his or her rights on nationalist, religious, or sectarian grounds. Hamas is of the view that the Jewish problem, anti-Semitism, and the persecution of Jews are phenomena fundamentally linked to European history and not to the history of the Arabs and the Muslims or to their heritage. The Zionist movement, which was able, with the help of Western powers, to occupy Palestine, is the most dangerous form of settlement occupation, which has already disappeared from much of the world and must disappear from Palestine. Number 20, Hamas believes that no part of the land of Palestine shall be compromised or conceded, irrespective of the causes, the circumstances, and the pressures, and no matter how long the occupation lasts. Hamas rejects any alternative to the full and complete liberation of Palestine from the river to the sea. However, without compromising its rejection of the Zionist entity and without relinquishing any Palestinian rights, Hamas considers the establishment of a fully sovereign and independent Palestinian state with Jerusalem as its capital along the lines of the 4th of June 1967, with the return of the refugees and the displaced to their homes from which they were expelled, to be a formula of national consensus, i.e., they demand that Israel adheres to international law. Now, whatever we may think of Hamas, and I am not a fan, because I am actually not a fan of the Muslim Brotherhood or of gradualism, which the Muslim Brotherhood are, and Hamas is an offshoot from the Muslim Brotherhood. Whatever we may think of them, and however we may oppose them, lying about them does not help. In fact, lying about them for their enemies, it makes their enemies look weaker, and for their allies, it makes their allies look stronger. So even those heads of state who lie about Hamas's intentions are not doing Israel any favors. Now, I made this video purely for the sake of education, and I hope it has been beneficial to anybody who watches it. And thank you.